The Lord kind of gave me a message for tonight that I felt was timely, and apparently it might be more timely than I thought. The Lord's been speaking to me a lot about how we're to love one another. And that we seem to do really well getting with the Lord and finding out how much He loves us and how much He loves, and vice versa. He loves us, we love Him, He loves us, we love Him, but we don't do that well loving our brothers in the body of Christ. And that's a commandment, it's the second one. But I've been feeling, because I don't think we understand fully what it is to love our brothers and our sisters in the body. And if we did, we would look so different than the world, and they'd know right away that, wow, these people are Jesus followers. And so, mainly because I've heard, in my own circle of friends and probably within myself, that sometimes it's so easy to judge somebody and you haven't even been walking in their shoes, and yet we'll make quirky remarks or quirky sayings or quirky things, and it's hurtful. Our words carry power. And when we say those things, they actually carry power to harm somebody that in which you're talking about, even though you're not talking to them face to face. The demons grab hold of them and take them where they need to go. So I'm trying to be a better person myself and watch my speech. And I feel like we as a group, we've got to start somewhere, right? Of really loving one another. And so the Lord's been speaking to me about 1 John. He showed me some things He wanted to do He showed me the things He wanted to do before I got to what He wanted me to say. So it was kind of like a little backwards, but it's all good. I think I'm getting it. I'm in 1 John, and I'm reading out of the Passion, and I'm actually reading I'm starting in 3:16, and I don't know how far I'll take it, but that's where I'm starting from. This is how we know we have discovered love's reality. Jesus sacrificed His life for us. Because of this great love, we should be willing to lay down our lives for one another. If anyone sees a fellow believer in need and has the means to help them, yet shows no pity and closes his heart against him, how is it even possible that God lives in him? Beloved children, our love can't be abstract, an abstract theory we only talk about, but a way of life demonstrated through our loving deeds. We know that the truth lives within us because we demonstrate love in action, which will reassure our hearts in His presence. Whenever our hearts make us feel guilty and remind us of our failures, we know that God is much greater and more merciful than our conscience, and He knows everything there is to know about us. My delightfully loved friends, when our hearts don't condemn us, we have a bold freedom to speak face to face with God. And whatever we ask of Him, we receive, because we keep His commands. And our beautiful intentions, we continue to do what brings pleasure to Him. So these are His commands, that we continually place our trust in the name of the Son, Jesus Christ, and that we keep loving one another, just as He commanded us. For all who obey the commands find their lives joined in union with Him, and He lives and flourishes in them. I love that. We know and have proof that He constantly lives and flourishes in us by the Spirit that He has given us. And I was feeling the Lord was wanting to stretch us to love better than we've ever loved before. And, we want to love the world to bring those into the kingdom, not love the world. We want to love the people in the world. Clarify that. We're not supposed to love the world. But we have to learn how to love our brothers and sisters in the Lord. And we do not even do that well. We got to get better at what we're doing. And the only way that's going to happen is by becoming more intimate with the Lord, which brings us more intimate with the Father, which brings His heart that moves in us, which we move on compassion to our brothers and sisters in the Lord. Now, I think this group is probably a pretty loving group. I don't generally hear bad things coming out of your mouths about other people, but I do know the body as a whole, we have to love them all. Now, I've heard people talk very harshly sometimes about the traditional institution of church, but we're not talking about the people in the institution of the church. Does that make sense? Sometimes the rules and regulations and legalism that we don't like in that kind of institution doesn't change the fact that those are our brothers and sisters sitting in the seats. And people that don't agree with you doesn't mean that you get to not love them because they disagree with you. And I have to say I have heard some people disagree with some of the things that have been said in some of the, to some of the people, leadership. And some people have said some really mean things. I mean, awful things. And I'm like, it's easy to speak when you're not someone that stands up and speaks in front of people. And it's easy to judge it until you actually get up here and have to do it, which is why we always try to get everybody up here to do it. Because it changes your mindset about how you will talk and critique and speak about other people. Now, not all of us pronounce our words correctly or use them in the right context. And I have heard many, and I have to sometimes make sure I keep my mouth shut because people use the wrong word in lots of cases. And it's not that people are necessarily uneducated, but it's in the areas in which they grew up, and that's how people talk. And when you create habits, people talk like that. And then you'll hear judgments set over it, or people get judgments in their mind, and they critique somebody, and then they don't listen to what they're saying because they've already judged the context of their misuse of words.
That's all we can think about.
That's right. Because we get in place of judges. We for some reason seem to think we're the critiques, and what we have to think is the most important, and that my opinion is more valuable than anybody else's. Which, mind you, we live in a world like that right now. That everybody's opinion is so valuable. And you know what has made it even harder is on social media, for some reason, people can think they can say whatever they want to say. Horrible things. And I've seen some of these are my people I know making comments. And I'm like, why would you say something like that? Because I don't know if people think, well, they don't know who I am, but somebody's going to know. I don't know if you know on Facebook, but if a friend of yours comments on a big thread of something, that's the only comment you see. Just beware out there. Because you might have thought you were one of those 500 comments that no one saw, but if you're my friend, Lisa, and you wrote something on someone's thing and you wanted to argue with them, yours is the comment I'll see. I won't see anybody else's unless I open it up. You didn't do that. I just used you as an example.
I think I've done that.
Yeah, she didn't do that.
People do it to me, though.
Yeah.
In the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, people just write horrible things. And I don't know, I think some people think social media is a place to air everything out that you ever wanted to air out in your lifetime. But people are watching. Yeah, if you go for a job, they really watch and look at your social.
Yes, they do. Someday I'm going to go to college and they're going to look at everything I've ever posted.
Yes, that's true. Well, and sometimes you're going, I was young and stupid, I swear. But there's really no excuse for anybody that's been walking with the Lord for a long time. We need to be treating each other that you're more valuable than I am. And that I would be more concerned about what's going on than I should be with what's going on with me. Because if I'm like Jesus, I'd lay down my life for you. How many people have friends like that? Now, I do have some that I know would lay down their life for me. I think it's rare, but I do have a few friends like that. And those are friends that I know I can go to at any time because I know they love me like that. They know my heart, so they're not going to get mad at me if they misunderstand something. Because I go, oh no, that's Kim. I must have misunderstood that. That's not how she feels about me. That is where we need to be. We need to understand that they're a believer. There's something I must have misunderstood about that, or you must have misunderstood about that. Have a conversation. Get it cleared up.
Amen.
I think then I had people say things about me, and I tried to have a conversation, and they wouldn't have a conversation. Well, that's not fair either. We got to be able to have conversations so that we can get things cleared up, so we can love properly. And it was really funny because I knew the Lord wanted me to talk about this, and I ran into somebody yesterday that probably had said some really horrible things about me in the past. And it was really great because when I ran into this person, there wasn't a hitch of any kind in my heart. Nothing was there that would cause me not to care about this person. And I thought, that is amazing, Lord. That I truly was concerned, had a conversation with the person. It was good. And I remember going home and I told Mike last night, I go, there's not even any little hiccup.
Victory. Yeah.
Yeah.
God is good.
God is good. So that's why I'm like, oh, you want me to talk on this because this is just kind of really quinky-dink. Yeah. And that's a made-up word. It's really not said like that. It's coincidence, but since we're talking words.
Real word.
Quinky-dink.
I've used it recently in an English essay. Nobody.
I hope you're hearing my heart in this.
Yes.
I want people, when they hear about hubs or hear about Out of the Mire, that they go, God, those people love well.
Sure.
I would love that to be our logo. Not that we have great worship, which I love, not that we have God's presence here, which I love, but that when they go there, they're going to say, man, those people love well. And I want us to be known in every hub group that we have, that's what they say. There's nothing that can fight against that. You can't get mad. Oh my gosh, they love well. I'm never going back because they're just horrible. They love well. I'm just saying, So I want the Lord to, how do I say this? We look at people and we think, oh, they're highly gifted. Oh my gosh, that person's so prophetic. Oh, that one man, when they lay hands, they heal on the sick. But wouldn't it be so much greater to go, when I think about them, I think of love. They just love. I feel that way about Patricia King. When you see her, you go, oh, she loves well.
Yeah. Peggy Cole.
Peggy Cole.
Oh my gosh, she's like oozes love.
See? They do all those other things, but what do you notice? You go, oh, man, they love well. And that is more important than the fact that you can give someone the most clear prophetic word that they've ever heard in their life that's going to change history in them, is that they walk away going, man, when they gave me that word, I felt so much love. Yeah, that's what I want us to be known by. I want us to love well. And I want us to love each other well. So this is the assignment we're doing tonight. Not assignment, that's probably not a good word, but this is what I felt we were supposed to do most of the night. And if you're watching this video, you can get some people and do it with them. I'm going to put you in groups, and I want you to share something about current. I'm talking within the last 30 days. Not something that happened to you 20 years ago or whatever. Last 30 days, something that is a need of yours or has been heavy a weight on you. Not like the weight of the Lord weight, but like a heavy weight of concern. I want you to share that. I want you to share something in you that has brought joy and goodness. And then I want you to share something that is a challenge. Those are the 3 areas that we're going to have you share.